Hi, I'm Elizabeth Ellington. Welcome to the Book Direct Show, where we're going to be talking about vacation rental design and how to zhuzh up your property for maximum ROI. I like to call it the house with the. So, what's good for your guests is also good for your direct booking wallet. I'm Elizabeth Ellington. I have been in vacation rentals for 17 years, which for some of you, if you know your history, that's before Airbnb. I had my own direct booking website in 2005 and have been happily hosting since then. I also am a traveler. I've been to 45 countries, many of them over and over and over. And I currently design for short-term rentals for maximum income and guest delight. Now, let's take a look at this waterfall. The way you're going to make money with design is not from one choice generally. It's like all this volume of powerful water cascading down this waterfall came from tiny little creeks and tributaries and streams and rivers, and it built up to this mighty, beautiful thing. And so you can't just put a piece of art up on the wall and call it a day. But we're going to give you lots of inspiration in this talk, and I hope that you're inspired to go do something fabulous. Why I love vacation rentals. It's the intersection of hospitality, travel, and real estate. And it especially uses residential real estate, which I love. I've been an investor since 2000, built commercial properties, rehabbed, flipped. And once I found vacation rentals, I haven't looked back. In the real estate world, like when you're a landlord, you say other people's money, or OPM is paying off your mortgage and giving you a little bit extra. I find that very cynical. I like to call it happy traveler funds, or HTF. And you can get an enormous ROI, just like if you were to put granite worktops in your long-term rental. Maybe it'll go up $50 a month, maybe $100. It's going to take you a while to get that investment back until you actually start seeing a return. We're going to talk about an amenity that I added in Fiji in 2009, and over until 2017, that upgrade made $112,000 and $800. So, and it's like all these competition shows that we watch. You want to kick it up a notch and then keep going, keep going. So how can you turn wood, hay, and foam into more direct bookings? I made a hanging bed. I came up with this idea talking about it with a friend and invested $3,000 into this hanging bed in a bure, which is what they call little cottages in Fiji. And I am direct waterfront. I've since sold the property, but I'm direct waterfront, but we're about 30 meters up. And so this had the most incredible views. And even when it's not, even when it's the height of noon, you can see a million shades of blue between here and Nananui Thake, which means daydream nearby. So I was able to complement what was going on already with outdoor space. Now, one of the key areas to zhuzh is outdoor space. And even if you just have a balcony, you can do a lot with that. It's your lowest cost and your highest ROI. Here on the upper left is a secondary rooftop of a penthouse I did in Mexico. It was just plain floor with kind of waist-high walls. So I had them build the trellis system, and they wove white linen, unbleached linen in between, kind of like undulating waves. And then I designed one of those as a sofa and one as a hanging bed, taking the same idea in Fiji, translating it over here. And this was the house with the hanging beds, because they called the couch the bed too. The middle picture is a property that I did in Mexico, a different one, just a simple hammock with 3 pillows, but it was lovely. And people loved being out there at night. This was also on a rooftop. Then something you'd see more in like low country US or the savannas of Africa. You have an enormous side porch, and then you have the hanging day bed. Now, here is something else you can do outdoors. Obviously, in 20 minutes, I can't do a comprehensive what every single home could have. But look at the 2 different ways they've used this. This is minimal expense. They have just taken indoor plumbing and put it out here, and then the materials are very inexpensive. And you have a very private, once you're in it, outdoor shower. And then here they've run water underneath they've dug a trench, put water in it. It may not even have hot water, but you also have enormous privacy while being surrounded by the forest. And a lot of people think outdoor showers, they think beach. Well, this doesn't look beach to me, and it looks fabulous. Now, one thing we learned with COVID was that we love the outdoors. We do not want to be trapped indoors. This uses faux plants, and you can get really good ones at IKEA. I have some on one of my vacation rentals here. The whole deck has faux plants in it, and they have survived 20-degree below freezing weather, snowstorm. They look fabulous. So here it's a very soft scape impression of a 4-poster bed. This is ribbon going down here. And they've got lanterns with fairy lights, and they've got sticks or very small branches to give sort of a trellis effect of that 4-poster bed. So you've got almost like a Queen Anne look, but very modern, yet very natural. On this one, we have the amazing bathroom, and everyone wants a freestanding soaker tub. I love the ones with the center mount drain because you can sit on either side, or you can have 2 people and nobody has to be uncomfortable. And this is another one where you would say the house with, oh, I want to stay in the house with that beautiful freestanding tub with the chandelier above it and the greenery in the bathroom. So you could have ended with the standing tub, but then they kicked it up another notch. They added a beautiful chandelier, and then they added greenery. And it's just lovely. So don't stop when you think you've done a really good job. Keep going. Here we have the dreamy bedroom. This would not, I don't think, work in your typical beach place. So again, we're just talking inspiration, ideas, but pushing it. Look at the luxurious linens that go from the top of the bed to the ground. You've got essentially monochromatic colors here with some natural elements like antlers and tables. So I'm not saying go out and find this table. I'm saying be inspired by this, because this is definitely one that the person who's doing research will go tell their spouse, their partner, their girlfriends. We have to stay at that place with that dreamy bedroom with the canopy of linen with fairy lights in it. They're inexpensive techniques that scream, here's my credit card, I want to stay here. Now, starry, starry night. Look at the moody ceiling. And I have this exact stencil that I got off Etsy, and they've done it with gold. You can also put bits of glow in the dark material on each of these stars, because why should kids have all the fun? We need a sense of play too as adults, and you always want to be really going out for the person who's going to be paying for the experience. Of course, you want to cater to everybody in the party, but the grandparents, the parents, the honeymooners, whoever is going to be paying for it, you want to make sure that they have an exceptional experience. Now, walls that seduce. I love wallpapers. I love a focal wall. That doesn't mean that's the way I live, but I do not believe that white, titanium white, and repose gray have a place in vacation rentals. We're taking traditional design elements and we're making them bigger and bolder and almost embracing the guest with them so that they feel that they are paying for an experience by staying in your house and not just a house where they can go have experiences. Here are two other small bathrooms with wallpaper. And here, let me give you a designer trick. The wallpaper on the vanity with the green vanity, and you can see there's crown molding and then white down the walls. It's a little bit harder to see, but that's a board and batten treatment. Now, when it's outside the house, you'll have an 8 to 10 inch piece of wood and then another one next to it, and it's covered by a batten, a strip of wood. When you're inside, you can just use the drywall or the wall as your board and simply put the strips every 8 to 10 inches or whatever feels right for your space, and then put crown molding above, put molding below, and then paint it all the same color, and it looks much more expensive than it was. Now, over here on the bathroom on the right, it's a very interesting wallpaper. But look how they've gone the extra mile with the flowers, and you've got that gorgeous magenta that you don't see anywhere else. And then they've kicked it up a notch by putting that next to the mirror so that it's doubled. Another thing you could do in this bathroom for privacy is there is frosted, or it has like rain stripes going through it. It's a cloudy film that you just use static electricity to put up, but I always put that on the lower half of a bathroom window so that people have privacy. Now, this is a property I did in Mexico, and I promise you, people were calling it the house with the sunset ceiling. We had sunrise over here by the double doors, and then we had daylight sky, and then you can't see, but behind is sunset. And that's exactly what was going on the rooftop, where you could see sunrise to sunset, and people loved it. It's the house with the sunset ceiling. Now, rugs are such a great place to add inspiration and get your colors together. I do not like wall-to-wall carpeting. I find it irritating, and it's almost like a sweater that you have to wear all winter that you don't wash. So I love the flexibility of area rugs and the ability to get very colorful and to change it at a moment's notice. If somebody drops a bottle of red wine on this for $150, I can replace it. But you can find rugs that have the colors that you want to work with. This is one way you can get an inspiration piece for your room. And you need to start with an inspiration piece, something that has the colors that you're interested in. And it's easier if you're in the space when you do it. So even if you only have to use your phone because you haven't closed yet and there's no internet and you can't bring your laptop, bring your phone and start looking at things, because you'll read in the color of the floor, the light coming in, the walls, and you'll get the feeling for what the room needs. Now, if you don't use carpets for inspiration piece, I recommend using prints because they're much less expensive from a local artist. Obviously, if you can find an up and coming one who can create one just for you, that's fabulous. But you don't need to spend a lot of money on this, but having a connection with someone who's in the community who loves your area and who actually people can go and buy more of their work, or you can say, you can see this artist on 4th Street That is a really special thing. If you can find the colors together in art or in nature, think dahlias, think coral. Then you can use those together in a room. You just need to reference that piece from nature or from art, and you can pull very strange colors together. Here's a very simple piece of art. It looks a little bit like a Monet with the background, but look, you can pull out yellow, you can pull out lilac. You can do all of that because this is what this painting is. One thing I learned with paintings and rugs is look at your corners, especially with rugs. Where are you going to be? Where is the couch going to go? Where is the coffee table going to go? Where are the two seats facing it? And orient your rug based on what's going on in the piece of furniture you're putting it next to. I know this is a painting, but okay, now we're going to talk about what's popular in 2022 and beyond. I hope the GIF is helpful to know that it's lighting. Now look at this room. It's very staid, quite dull, I think, but your eye is drawn to this installation of wood and light. And if this room didn't have it, imagine if it didn't have it, this would be a very boring room. And they do have another light fixture back there. But I definitely would add a rug under here. I would add a rug over here. But the light certainly draws your eye. Now look on the right hand of the screen. Look how whimsical these hot air balloons are made of light bulbs. So again, I'm not saying go out and buy this exact thing. I'm saying be inspired. Look around, have your eyes wide open to the possibilities. Here's one I did in Mexico, and I love IKEA because everything is flat packed. So these 3 lamps, and you can see them better over here, they're copper colored inside, and they had this beautiful teal on the outside with light coming through it. And I promise you, no one else in all of Mexico in that area had any of these over the bar, but they're super easy to pack and lightweight. Now, imagine if you had an area just kind of at the end of a hallway or tucked underneath some stairs, and you wanted to make it a work area. Something like this would draw me in and make me say, you know what? I really need to get some work done, and this is a gorgeous place to do it. I'm not saying go get these exact things. I'm saying use that idea and that feeling. I just did some condos for an investor who didn't really think through his layout very well. And there were no places for side tables. So what I did was I took a walking stick from a local artist, and his name is carved up here. And then I hung it from carabiners on the ceiling that went into eye hooks, and then wrapped the wire around it, and then the wire goes right next to the bed, and they can turn the light off from bed. That is something that drives me crazy if I don't have a reading light to put next to the bed. And all of these condos that I did, white floors, cream walls, white countertops, white cabinets, white appliances, white trim. It was honestly like being inside of a refrigerator. There was no warmth, no charm. And so I added it by rugs, by hand painted furniture, and by little touches like this. And one of the other things you can do that's so inexpensive, and here's where I did the walking stick again. It fit just perfectly in there, but I put flowers behind this wall. And that was maybe $10 worth of stickers from Etsy. And then I used them throughout the rest of the studios in places where I wanted to give a sense of warmth. Now, one thing I've never seen, but I'm going to start doing it myself. One, I love this frog. And if I had a beachfront place, I would be tempted to use this frog and the gold and the lilac and the red in here. The red very lightly in tropical locations can really pop. But I have never seen anybody use a mood board. And I just put this together for fun. But imagine if one of your photos was a mood board. And even if you've already created your place, you can snap pictures of bits of the carpet, of take a picture of some of the art you have, and you can create a mood board and use it as one of your photos on your listing. You can find me at Vacation Rental Profit Lab, and I really, truly want to hear what you took away from this talk and what you're going to do in the next 4 weeks that you're going to install in your vacation rental because of this talk. I hope to hear from you.